Next, let's see the different types of polynomials. Now that we have defined what a polynomial is, let's classify the different types of polynomials existing in the branch of mathematics. Now, types of polynomials is the session. As we discussed about the definition of a polynomial, let's take, for example, a polynomial of one term. A polynomial can have any number of terms depending on the given problem. So what if it has one term? What if the polynomial has two terms or three terms or four terms or etc. and etc. So let's start with a polynomial which has one term. So let me take, for example, a polynomial p of x equals 4x. Surely this is a polynomial because its power is, the power of the variable is 1, which belongs to whole numbers. Therefore, p of x is a polynomial. Specifically, p of x is a polynomial of one term. There's only one term out here is what we need to notice. Now, in this case, any polynomial which has one term has got its specific name, which is called a monomial. A monomial is a polynomial which consists of only one term. Let's take one more example. How many terms out here? There are two terms. But is this a polynomial? Yes, of course. The power of x is 1, each of 1 belong to whole number. Therefore, this given expression in the given example problem is a polynomial, but this is not a polynomial of two terms because this can be further simplified. Like 14x minus 2x, which can be further simplified to get 2x. So we need to simplify this further to get the most simplified form. And the most simplified form of the given problem 14x minus 12x is 2x. So this is the actual polynomial which intends to be decided on. Now here, the power of x is 1. It belongs to whole number. It's a polynomial and it is a polynomial of one term, and therefore this polynomial indirectly given by this is a monomial. So the learning outcome in this example problem is that when a polynomial is decided for a monomial or any other polynomial of more than one term, we try to decide on simplifying the given polynomial to the most simplified form and then decide on the number of terms in the polynomial. The number of terms decide the definition of that particular polynomial. In this example, this being simplified to get 2x, and hence it's a monomial. Monomial is a polynomial which consists of only one term. So here I have the learning outcome which says monomial. It is a polynomial containing only one term. Is how we define the monomial, a polynomial with only one term. What if the polynomial is having only constant? Let's take an exceptional example in this case to decide, to understand the concept of monomial more stronger. For example, I have my function or the polynomial to be minus 3. Is this a polynomial is the biggest question before we decide on this polynomial being a monomial. So let's see if the given problem is a polynomial and then justify on that being a monomial. Clearly the function f of x here is given to be minus 3. And as we have discussed, minus 3 can be written as minus 3 times 1 because any number times 1 is that number itself. Now the reason why I multiply with 1 is to see that I can substitute this 1 with x power 0. because we all know that a power 0 equals 1, provided a is not equal to 0 is the condition. For a non-zero term, a power 0 is 1 for a not equal to 0 and for a belonging to R. So using that property, I have one which can be written as x power 0. So this is the polynomial indirectly for f of x. So that this is a polynomial because the power of x, which is 0, belongs to W, and thus satisfies the condition of the definition of a polynomial. So minus 3x power 0 is a polynomial. So indirectly, minus 3 is a polynomial, and it is a polynomial of one term because I have only one term out here, and therefore this is a monomial based on the definition of monomial is a polynomial containing only one term, and therefore is equal to minus 3 is a monomial, is how I understand monomial as the definition of a polynomial with one term. Monomial is a polynomial of one term. The next type of polynomial after the discussion of monomial is binomial. So let's see what a binomial is in the branch of polynomials. As we see, the word bi as taken from binomial, it clearly indicates that bi refers to 2. And monomial, which has mono, refers to 1. And therefore, binomial refers to a polynomial of 2 terms. It's very simple that a polynomial which has one term is a monomial, and a polynomial which has 2 terms in its expression is called a binomial. Bi refers to 2 and mono refers to 1 is how we understand the definition of a binomial in the most simple manner. For example, if I take the polynomial p of x equals 3x minus 5x cubed. Now this expression clearly is said to have 2 terms, and let's see if this is a polynomial. To start with, the variable has the first term of the variable x has its power, which is 1, and the second term has its power, which is 3. The power of x is 1 and the power of x is 3, and we know that 1 and 3 both belong to whole numbers, and therefore by the definition of a polynomial, this is a polynomial. Now exclusively, this is a polynomial of 2 terms, the first term being 3x and the second term being negative 5 times of x. So a polynomial which has 2 terms, which is bi, hence a binomial. Therefore, since p of x has 2 terms, 3x and minus 5x, therefore p of x is a binomial, is how we understand the definition of a binomial using the properties of the polynomial.
If you like this video, please give a thumbs up. Please subscribe to our channel to get more videos on CBSE syllabus.